Please ask your questions about the DLT Q&A panel right now. We will answer it. We have some DLT people on right now, like Sydney, our Kiwanis Family and Foundation Chair, Tracy, Dang, and Carlos, our Spirit Coordinators, and John is here too. And we also have Lani Nguyen, who's our Division Historian right now. So we'll present this. And Nicole too. Sorry, I forget the presidents. Our next question is from Diego Solorio. Is there any previous experience recommended for a DLT position? And I'll answer this question first. I would say that no experience is necessary. It's all about the 𝐃𝟎💒 passion, how much you're willing to commit to being on division leadership team position, because it is a lot of commitment, but it's also a lot of fun. It's a lot of rewards. So that's what I have to say. Does anyone else have any input on this?
Can I say something? So
yeah, of course.
Previous to joining the Spirit Coordinator position, I wasn't really in 𝐃𝟎💒. It was the first year that I joined 𝐃𝟎💒, and I mean, my drive and my passion for like making new friends and community was what led me to do, things as a Spirit Coordinator, like not knowing what it was. So I would say, as long as you have the passion and the drive to do things for 𝐃𝟎💒 and for the community, you're gonna strive.
I want to add something else. Like, I wasn't in any position before as well, and it's a big learning curve. But I think as long as you're determined, like what Carla said, it's really easy to adapt to the work that you have to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there was another question by Isabella that was way earlier, and she asked what DLT position is best for new members to apply.
Okay, so we'll answer that question. For new DLT positions for new members, I guess that I would recommend applying for honestly any of the coordinators. It doesn't matter what position is the easiest, but it's more like what you're passionate about. So if your passion is in, let's say, graphic design, then you should apply for division news editor. If your passion is in designing division merchandise or spirit gear, then you should definitely go for communications and marketing. So it all really depends on what your passion is. That's what I have to say.
There was one that asked, how will the new board set the 2020 to 2021 term apart from previous terms?
Okay. So how will the new board from 20? Okay. So I guess what I have for this question is just that we are adding one more position, because usually it's we have a service project and an event coordinator this year, but now we're going to have a service and a fundraising. So we're going to split both of them up pretty equally to make sure that we have both as an entire division. And we're also going to have a lot more members be involved in committees. For example, this year we had spirit coordinators, and that was the DLT positions. Well, during the fall rally season, we're also going to have members be appointed as part of the spirit committee alongside the spirit coordinators to teach and lead cheers at spirit nights and at fall rally.
I think that we would set ourselves apart from the last term. Well, in terms of that, I think it really depends on who choose to be a part of DLT. But either or, I think that this term is gonna actually set itself apart really, really well, based on how we're dealing with this whole quarantine situation itself. So yeah, I encourage you guys to apply and be a part of it, because it's actually gonna be really, really good. I have a lot of faith.
Thank you. Okay.
There was questions about DLT meetings and if there's any extra events that DLT must attend.
Okay, so our DLT meetings, they're a combination of in-person meetings and over call meetings. Right now, obviously, because of the quarantine, then we are going to have mostly over call. But these meetings happen not that often. I'd say once every quarter. So maybe one during the summer, one during the fall, one during the spring, one of those times, unless we have more. So usually around fall rallies when we have the most meetings. But they're not a lot of, I guess they're more fun than anything. So deep DLT meetings, you shouldn't be really worried about them.
I know that some of my favorite parts of this term was the DLT meetings, getting together and filming promo videos and making dragon ears was some of my favorite parts of the whole term. So I highly they were the best part, honestly.
Yeah, DLT meetings, they're not all just informative and about learning your positions. Also a DLT board bonding kind of things where we all hang out.
Yeah, definitely. So the next question that I see is from Diego Solorio. What are some of the requirements of being on the division leadership team? So some of the requirements, I guess the biggest thing that I would say is passion for 𝐃𝟎💒💒. You're willing to be committed to 𝐃𝟎💒 and be committed as a division leadership team officer. Then that's a big thing that you need to have. There are some positions that have certain requirements, such as executive assistant and division secretary. Only underclassmen are allowed to apply. So incoming sophomores and juniors, we're not allowing seniors, just because usually these 3 positions are known as the executive positions, and they should be for people who want to run for LTG the next year. That's why we only reserve it for underclassmen. Besides that, you don't need to have any prior experience as long as we see the potential in you. How strenuous is it to be on DLT? So what do you guys think on this question?
It depends on your job, honestly, and how you handle it.
I really don't think it's strenuous at all. Like, I would consider myself pretty involved with like my school and like in other activities, and honestly, it's like I don't struggle trying to balance being on DLT at all. Like, even during fall rally season, it really like it's easy to put into your schedule.
And I would say it's not that strenuous. It's a good commitment to be inside, and I think the rewards definitely outweigh any of the work that is put in. Because this is a big family, so I really love to be a part of it. Okay.
I feel like the amount of time you spend, like, it obviously depends on your position. Like, for example, for me, like, as a member commission coordinator, I did my position like once a month, which was just like before every DCM. So it's not like the amount of workload you have for like a class, like, not at all.
Definitely. Okay, so now let's move on to our next question. Are there extra events that DLT must attend? So, my answer to this question is, I guess, there's DLT meetings that DLT would attend. That's the only extra event, and I guess besides that, it's just a lot more important for DLT to attend all DCMs and training conferences, because you guys are representing the division, so you guys want to make sure that you're there, present, so that members can know who you are and that you can do your job. Does anyone else have anything they want to add for this question?
Oh, I do. You hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're Kiwanis family coordinator, you probably do have to go to a few Kiwanis events outside of just Key Club events. It's usually like with an LTG, like in your case it would be Mai. I went with Diego last year, and we would go to like Kiwanis meetings. Like in my case, most of the ones I went to were with Santa Ana because that's where I'm from. But there is also, like, it depends on what state you're from. You're probably gonna have takeovers with them, and you have to get to know them better. You have to have like, I don't know, like lunches, like stuff with them just to get to know them better. And usually it's just gonna be you, your LTG, maybe some other LTGs and people from their boards. So those are a few extra events you do have to attend if you do run for KFF chair.
Do spirit coordinators only make cheers for fall rally? I'll let the spirit coords answer this.
I would say yes and no. After fall rally, we get put in these certain committees because we really don't have a job after fall rally. But sometimes we'll make like icebreakers for DCMs or kind of lead some of the DCM events. But in terms of cheers, you can make cheers for decon too, because there's like a chance of winning like a spirit stick at decon. But I guess we just haven't gotten there yet because our division is really small at decon, but maybe that can change.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add for this?
I would say like yes and no too, because like a majority of our workload is just there's those 3 months or like 3 months prior to fall rally. But this year we did a lot of work with like planning like some of the events at the DCMs and doing a lot of the icebreakers. Like it felt like that almost equaled out to the amount of work we did at fall rally. It almost was like we had a job every month, which felt like we were still part of the DLT and wasn't just like a 3-month deal, you know, like it still is very rewarding throughout the whole term.
Yeah. Okay. Is that it for this question? Okay, so now moving forward, the next question is, how much workload would you say being on DLT is? So what do you guys think? We answered a similar question, I think.
I think every job has its own specific amount of work that you have to do, but I wouldn't really call it workload. I would say it's more like bonding and joining a DLT family and being able to carry out your bond with your DLT onto members at DCMs and the big events that we do as a division. So I think, yeah, you're gonna have a specific amount of workload for your position because certain positions require certain jobs, but it's more fun rather than work. So I call it fun work, not really load work.
That's good. Anything else?
Also, like all the jobs are kind of like monthly based. I don't know, like for historian, it's like every event, like we come up with like take pictures of the event, edit videos, post pictures, but it's all like it's not too much at once, if that makes sense. It's kind of like you're already preparing for it.
How does the DLT selection process work? I'll answer this question first. So DLT is selected by an appointment base. So you would fill out a form and then we would read it and then we would appoint based on the answers you provide. So that's why it's really important that you really work hard to answer those forms to the best of your ability. And depending on the position you apply for, so like I said before, if you're running for an executive position, like executive assistant or division secretary, then we will contact you to schedule an interview. And also if your position has a lot of other applicants applying for it, for example, spirit coordinator, we may have an interview with you as well, just get to know you guys better and see if we can see you in DLT. Is there a certain amount of service hours that are needed to be on DLT? I don't think there's a certain amount of service hours requirement, but you guys should be serving hours in your home club as well. So there's this thing called member recognition program with the district, and I'll tell you guys about it now. So if you serve 50 hours and you get bronze recognition, and you serve 100 hours, you get silver recognition. If you serve 150 hours, you get gold recognition, and if you serve 200 hours, you get platinum recognition. And that recognition looks really good on your applications and resumes, and it's also a good chance for you to just get acknowledged on a district level of the work that you put into 𝐃 Club. So that should incentivize you to do a lot of service, if anything. Does anyone else have a different answer to this question?
This is kind of just a side question to what you just said about the district awards. Like, would you watch the live stream then for that, or is that a different thing?
Yeah, you will watch a live stream for that.
Okay.
It's going to be announced. Okay. So, and by the way, that live stream is probably going to be on the CNH YouTube channel. So just look up CNH 𝐃 Club and they should have a live stream link for that. Okay, so for the next question, we have how much of a time commitment is DLT? How many 𝐃 Club events are you obligated/expected to attend? And what will you do if you have a lot of other commitments going on? So what do you guys have to say to this?
Like what we were mentioning before, it's really easy to fit into your schedule. Like personally, I think I'm a pretty busy person, especially during fall season. Like I play tennis, so then there's like fall season, and then I'm also an ASB, so then there's like homecoming season, and like on top of all my classes and then fall rally, and balancing all of those honestly was not too bad. So I would say that DLT is it has like a minor time commitment in comparison to like other things. So like for the next question, I like kind of peeked and it said if you're in any sports, like how would you deal with it? And honestly, you could choose it to like whenever you want it to. Like based on fall rally, when we had our spirit calls, you could really plan it to whenever you want. Like we had our calls pretty late at night, like 8 or 9, so then it would be after all your games. So I would say that like if you're scared it's gonna clash with your schedule, don't be, because it really shouldn't limit you if you feel like you don't have the time commitment, because like honestly it's not a lot at all. So
yeah, and I think Miss Kendrick, our region advisor, put it really well in the comments. So she said that it's a fun work thing, and I completely agree. So the whole part of commitment and obligations is not really a thing that you have to worry about in 𝐃 Club, because it's more of just work that you do that you want to do. It's kind of like, for me, it's a break from all the work that I have to do for school and other stuff. So I really enjoy 𝐃 Club events, and I don't see them as obligations. So I think that on DLT you guys will see it the same way. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to say for this question?
I would just add, I would guess like the only like expectation is like for you to like actually do your job and be active. That's a big thing, because like if you're like active on like one note but like you suddenly stop, there's a problem with that. And I think there's a major issue, like you should be consistent with working, even though it's not a lot of work. Sometimes you could just like slack it off, and that's not a good thing. So yeah.
Definitely. So on DLT, you guys will probably get monthly assignments, depending on your position. We have a lot of positions this year, so the assignments that you get every month shouldn't be that strenuous, but there will be monthly tasks for you to do. So just look out for that. Does anyone else have any questions? We can answer two at the same time. All right, I guess we are done with this live chat portion of our DCM. Thank you guys for participating. I think we answered a lot of really good questions today. And thank you to the DLT officers who are on this call right now to answer questions. You guys are very awesome.